of solving problems, human behavior in terms of experimental evidence, and become familiar with the methods of science. In other words, religion merely gives you lip service to the deity. They go to church and they verbalize. I personally think religion is a verbal hobby.
Just real quick, guys, let me move my hand. U.S. plans for first strike nuclear attacks against 7 countries. So, it names the countries in specific, and it's got a nice picture of George W. Bush on the front.
I have that scanned in. I can send it to you.
Yeah, that would be great. But Pentagon document signals dramatic shift in American strategy. So,
what's the date on that?
Do you happen to know the date?
It's on there somewhere. March 10th, 2002.
So March 10th, 2002. So we know that strategy is being discussed. Now let me see what our next question is here. But okay, yeah, you got your date now. Thunder's been re-asking this question. I'm going to have to get to it. There's a lot of talk about moving forward with these ideas. I think before we move forward, do we have to go back to basics? Like go back to the basics of life? Do you feel this is what is needed before we can re-evolve to the Venus Project and a resource-based economy?
We have to go through a transition. That period, the transition between the monetary system and the global system that I talk about, a resource-based economy, there will be problems. The transition always has problems because you have people between different systems. No matter what you believe in, someone will hate you for it. There's nothing you can advocate without developing or getting people to want to kill you for it. You see, our values are so different and they're subject to interpretation. This is a major problem. Whenever you read the Bible, remember, the Bible is subject to interpretation. It was written in a very old language. So some people say, I think Jesus meant this, and others say, no, you're wrong. This is what he meant. And the third person will say, you're both wrong. That's why you have the Lutheran, the Seventh-day Adventists, the Catholic, the different denominations, because it's subject to interpretation. Obviously, we must develop a language that's not subject to interpretation, and that already exists. Mathematics, chemistry, physics, engineering language. If engineering was subject to interpretation, you couldn't build bridges. Do you understand that? Think about it. In other words, most people don't think about it. They just fall in line with whatever the government says or whatever the minister says. Remember, ministers are people who say things that people have a need to hear. They have nothing to do with reality. After you kick the bucket, you go to Happy Land and you fly around with wings. If the angels flew without wings, that would be a miracle. Think about it. So you see, when you read the Bible, think about what you're reading. Moses parted the Red Sea so the Jews can go across. God could have put the Jews on the other side without parting the Red Sea. All the stories are fabulously imagined fantasies based upon human need. People don't like the idea of dying and that's the end of life. They want to believe you go on and that somebody up there cares. If somebody up there really cared, he wouldn't make so many dummies that kill each other in his name, in the name of God or your concept of God. Most people keep killing each other, and it says in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. It doesn't say certain people. So you see, people violate all religious teaching consistently.
What do you think about the fact that we are running out of water?
We're not running out of water. We don't know how to store floodwaters. There you get all the water in the world. It's flooding people out of their houses. We have to harness that, store it in storage basins. Places like where we did strip mining, made these big holes and left them there. We can design canals and waterways and store all that flood water. We can harness nature, not be abused by it. You live in a society, like I said, that's run by politicians, and politicians have no idea of how to solve problems.